This is very interesting from Barcelona, and I'm really intrigued to hear what everybody else thinks about this because it's very circumstantial and I think definitely affects and would impact one player in particular. And I don't know how well this would go down because Barca has stated they do plan on reigniting their interest for Nico Williams next season. And then they've also stated that they have interest still in Kimmich next season. And then I think they still would potentially want to try and sign Ta on a free transfer. But I mostly want to focus on Kimmich and Nico Williams because these are more interesting to me and they're very circumstantial. The Nico Williams situation is very interesting because yes, it is the long-term left winger Neymar replacement. And from everything that I've read recently, it looks like the main reason or the reason he didn't join Barcelona was because the lack of certainty in being able to register him so he could play. I mean, God forbid, Barcelona couldn't even register Dani Olmo. Luckily, Christensen was hurt and they unregistered him. I mean, what would have happened if Christensen didn't get hurt? If the financial situation is there, does the signing of Nico Williams make sense? And it's going to impact Rafinha. That's who it impacts. And it sucks because I think Rafinha has grown on most of us Barca fans. I think most of us, honestly, even after last season, probably would have sold him if the price was right. But honestly, if the entire team is healthy, I think he is the main deserving captain. I think he deserves it just from the way his work rate is. He works so hard. He cares so much. He plays for the badge. He would fight and fight and fight for every single player in the squad. And it's hard to find anyone nowadays that's like that. And if Nico Williams comes in, let's just be completely honest and call a spade a spade. He's not starting over Lamine Yamal. And Nico would probably be given that starting spot on the left wing. He's not a center forward, Rafinha, so where is he going to play on the pitch? That's the main concern. But now you also can look at it from Barcelona's management standpoint in the board because, yes, they say one thing, but then they do another, or they say they can do this and then they can't. Barcelona very well, if they choose to not pursue Nico, which I still think they should, as much as I want to see Rafinha excel here, Barcelona could be thinking, well, we have Rafinha, we have Ansu Fati, we have Dani Olmo who can play as a left winger, Pau Victor probably could play there, Gavi and Pedri both have shown that they can play there. That's not where they're the best, but they have shown they've played there in the past. I can foresee that happening, but the only thing that's frustrating about it is Rafinha is going to be 28 next season. He's a little older. Ansu Fati, I just don't see it working out here. I don't see him getting the playing time that he's going to want to get. I don't see him being that potential star that we thought he was going to be a couple of years ago. If he doesn't play well this season, I think that's it for him. I don't think he really come back from this and become this mega superstar. This season is ultimately, I think it's going to depend a lot on how some of these players are, if Fati has a good season, and if they want to continue with Rafinha as the starting left wing moving forward. But as tough as it is, I think signing Nico is the right choice because everything that Rafinha gives you, Nico gives you, but he also gives you more. Rafinha lacks finishing ability, and Nico Williams is better in beating guys one-on-one and dribbling. He's just better at that. And Rafinha, the reason why he's so good is because he makes great runs in his work rate. Where Nico, his work rate's not the same, but he's shown us in the Euro especially, he stretches defenses, he makes those runs, and he's going to be able to play combination, quick, counterattacking football as well. So I think ultimately he's younger. He provides you with more attributes than Rafinha. And it sucks because I want Rafinha on the pitch. I just don't know where he would start if Nico comes in. So let me know how you guys feel about that situation and if you would like to see Nico still join Barcelona next season. Now, the Kimmich situation is different and it's very circumstantial. I think the only way that Kimmich joins the club is if Frenkie de Jong leaves, because Barcelona has stated that they would be open to selling Frenkie de Jong and Araujo, for that matter, if they can't get them to extend their contracts after this season. Now, I see Araujo extending his contract. Frenkie de Jong, on the other hand, I just get this feeling that he is going to wait until the end of 2026 when his contract is up and just try and rob Barcelona of as much money as possible and just get a massive contract, even though he's already making the most money in all of Europe right now. So that's the only way I would think bringing in Kimmich actually makes sense. And if they do, because let's be honest, I know there's injury problems and unfortunately the midfield seems to suffer the most, but if you have a healthy midfield next season, right, you have Casado and Bernal, Gavi, Frenkie de Jong, and then Pedri. All five of those will play and alternate in that double pivot role. You add Kimmich to that, that's 6 players. Yes, it's fantastic squad depth. Yes, Kimmich can play as a right back and give Koundé some rest, or you can give Cabarresi rest and move Koundé in the center. But ultimately, if you're going to sign good players like that, you want them on the pitch. And I just don't know. We're in a weird spot even now when Gavi and Frankie come back. Casado has been so fantastic. Who starts? Because you also have Dani Olmo coming back, and then Pedri is here too. So again, having too much depth, you hate to say that it's going to be a problem, but how do you fit all of those players into the squad at once? So that's why I think the only way Kimmich would make sense is if Frankie de Jong leaves next season. And out of everybody in Barcelona that's injured, honestly, everyone, even regardless, before the season even started, Frankie de Jong is the one person I'm most anxious and excited to see play in this Flick system because he's so quick and good on the ball and he's so skilled. I think the way Flick utilizes him, it could be like unleashing a dangerous weapon because he is so gifted, and I think in the right system, and I think Flick is the right system for Barcelona, he could thrive. And I'm so excited to see what he brings and what he does. And of course, he's got to stay healthy, but he could be a huge, even, I know there's already so much good in Barcelona, but he could be even more of a game changer for Barcelona. But I think he can be. I think we all are just waiting to see it. And luckily, like we're seeing now, if you have the correct system in place, a lot of times you don't even need the best player in every single position. You just need really good players that fit the system and play their position well. So we'll see how the rest of the season pans out. But out of the two, I think I'd be more open to getting Nico. But it all depends on Frankie de Jong. I think because if you keep him, then Kimmich probably doesn't make the most sense. But if he leaves, then it does make some sense. But if I'm Barcelona, to be completely honest, I am prioritizing Lewandowski's replacement. He's been good this year and he's been scoring, but they still need the replacement. And I think that, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Victor, I'm looking at it right now, Gyökeres, the Swedish striker who has just bursted on the scene. He looks fantastic. That's an option. I don't really know many other players that Barcelona would be able to get, but I think prioritizing Lewandowski's replacement, this is an option because I don't see Pau Victor for some reason being that long-term solution. I thought we potentially would have seen more of Pau Victor so far this season, and maybe we will, but if we haven't already, unless there's an injury, I don't think it's completely likely, so I don't know if they're still going to bet on him to be the long-term successor, but I think if you can find Neymar's replacement, which you have in Nico, and then potentially Lewandowski's replacement, I think Barcelona is in a pretty good spot. And then maybe, yeah, double up on another center back, get Jonathan Tah a free transfer next season if you can. But I think if Barcelona's midfield is healthy and can stay healthy for the rest of the season, you don't have to look for another midfielder, to be completely honest. Luckily, we have some time for Barcelona to really think about these decisions, and hopefully they can persuade, assuming Frankie de Jong stays healthy and has a good season and works well under Flick, hopefully Barcelona can persuade Ronald Araujo and Frankie to extend their contracts after this season. However, it's a big if, especially with Frankie de Jong. And then the Nico Williams, I guess we just have to wait and see if that's something Barcelona wants to do. And if they want to, a captain in Rafinha, move him to the bench, because I just don't see any other way that he starts if it's not on the left wing. Because if Nico's here, I don't think he starts. So let me know what you guys think about these topics down below. We have a big weekend ahead of us. Barcelona plays Osasuna. Not necessarily the big match I'm referring to. Real Madrid and Atletico play on Sunday. So if Barcelona gets the dub on Saturday, I think this is huge and puts a ton of pressure on Real Madrid, because if they drop points, this is great for Barcelona. With the form Real Madrid's been in still, their attack looks better, but they're still a little shaky overall. Atletico always plays Real Madrid tough, especially last season. They were the only team, I think, that beat them last year. You know it's going to be a big match, a tough match. So let's pull for Atletico. Hopefully they can pull off that win and Barcelona wins Saturday. If you guys stayed till the end of this video, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys back here next time on the G-Red Show.